Hello, my name is Carla. Welcome to my channel, and welcome to the island of Snowflake. This is a winter core, sort of Christmassy, mostly winter inspired island that I'm going to be working on now and going into the 3.0 update, which is coming out so soon on, I think, January 15th. I'm pretty excited for it, but I wanted to start working on my island now so that I can get a head start and get some things ready before then. So I talked to Isabel and I'm currently at a 1-star rating, but today we are going to be trying to get to 3 stars. So I wanted to actually properly decorate. Normally I just throw as many items as I can down, and fencing and plots of land, anything I can get to reach 3 stars, but I wanted to give it a go without the pathing tool and terraforming to see if we can make it pretty while we reach 3 stars. So this is actually the first time I have ever placed down pathing without the pathing tool, and man, was this difficult for me. I am not great with it, but I managed, and I'm excited to get the pathing tool again. So my idea for this island is to focus on neutrals and browns, make this pretty natural, like a natural wintry island. I probably will decorate it a little bit for Christmas, but I don't want to go overboard with it because I do want to work on this throughout January and February when it's still snowy and cold. I don't actually see a lot of people do winter islands, and that makes me a little upset because winter is my personal favorite season. I love when it's cold and it snows, it's magical. So I'm excited to work on this, and it's a little bit of a challenge for me because I don't myself usually do winter islands either, so I am excited. For the entrance, I really wanted to make it pretty simple. You know, I might go back in later and add some cliffs and waterscaping and stuff, but for now, when we don't have those, I'm keeping it pretty simple. I'll probably keep the basics of it, but I might enhance it a little bit. So I'm adding my favorite item in, the tiny library. I love that. I think it's such an adorable item, and the customizations on it are just gorgeous. And a little bench as well for a seating area. This custom design that I put down is so cute. It has like little animal snow tracks in it, and there's like a couple different ones that I got. They're adorable. I love them. I think it adds such a cute little detail to it, and like it's like a little villager came up and walked towards the bench that they were sitting on. I think that's so cute. Little details like that are just my favorite thing in like any island. I always love adding these garden gnomes to my builds. I don't know why, but I think they're just like really fun. I think they add like a little bit of whimsy to a build, so I always really like adding these. This is also the first time I've ever recorded myself building one of these, and oh my gosh, the amount of stuff that I had to cut out because I will just stand around looking at my build and checking if it's right. Like, I've cut out so much of me, my character literally just like standing there, like sped up. It's insane. For flowers, I'm kind of sticking with whites and reds. I do add a couple black flowers in, but I wanted to keep it pretty simple. If you see my character changing outfits, I did this over the span of a couple days, and I did stunt the trees and whatnot so that they grew in at different heights. I wanted my build to have a lot of depth, so I do really like stunting the trees at different heights and like adding that in. I just think it adds a lot to a build. During this time, I also put down 2 villager plots and took a trip to a treasure island to find Maple, who I love. I think she's fantastic. She's got such natural colors. I think she's going to be a great addition to the island. And I also invited Eric, who is one of my favorite villagers ever. Like, he is so cute, and he's just great for a winter island. His little sweater, he's like a little reindeer. He's so cute. I love him. So now I am moving on to the skating rink, skating pond sort of thing, which is going to be right in front of resident services, like kind of down a path. I don't have too much room in front of my resident services, but I think that's like a fun use of space. I do have Sprinkle as one of the villagers on my island, and she will be staying. I think she is so cute. She just looks like a little snowflake, so I think she's perfect for this island. And I had to include a penguin villager, and I think his name is Tex, the other penguin villager I have. He was my campsite villager, and as far as villagers go, he's not bad. I just have other villagers in mind that I would prefer to have on my island. So he will not be staying around, but he is welcome for now. So first thing I like to do when I'm approaching a larger build is place down any custom designs, like major custom designs. So I did put down the skating rink and kind of mapped out the trees first. I think it's better to start with larger areas and then work to the details. So made a sizable skating pond and then added in some of the trees. I also decided to add just a little pathway going down to the beach. I decided to also add in a little bench with a little mug. I figured it would be like a little hot chocolate mug. I don't know, like, if this is a thing that everyone does, but my skating rinks, like, during Christmas time have, like, skate and hot chocolate special nights. So I thought that would be, like, a fun little addition. I also added some of those, like, little Ugg boots on the ground, so it's like a place where you take your shoes off before you go skating. I thought that was cute. This is going to be kind of a in-between area between paths, so I've just kind of added the paths going out from it as well that I will do some later builds on. Again, with this area, I might add in some cliffs and waterscaping after the fact, but for now, we don't have those tools. This is a build I'm pretty happy with. Like, I'm always using the terraforming tools, so it was a fun challenge to not use those. Here I am adding in a hot chocolate truck, which I did see this on Pinterest and I thought it was so cute, so I wanted to add it in, and I thought this would be a good spot because they can get hot chocolate, go skating. I thought it would be really cute, so I added a little seating area next to the truck, and then a mug on the table, as well as the one that's on the bench there. If I can, I will link my Pinterest board for this island, because there is so many good creators out there that have inspired me a lot for this island. And I also have any custom designs that I used on that Pinterest board, so I will see if I can link that. I struggled for a little bit what to do in the spot where the sign is. I didn't know if I wanted a lamppost or a bush there or something, but I finally decided on that sign. So. I finally spoke to Isabel and she said I'm at 3 stars. So I pretty much immediately time traveled to the next day to see KK Slider, and